You're here again. Same spot, same thoughts, same ache in your chest. And you're asking yourself, quietly, because you don't want to hear the real answer. Why do I always fall for the same kind of person? Maybe you're not saying it out loud. Maybe you've got them on mute. Or maybe you're staring at a text thread that's been empty for too long. Still waiting for a version of them that only exists in your imagination. You fell for their potential, not their patterns, not their consistency, not their effort, their potential. You saw the way they could love, if only they tried harder. You saw how deep they could be, if only they'd open up. You saw all the ways they could grow, if only they healed. And so, you stayed. You waited. You gave more. Because you believed in what they could become. But let me ask you something. Do they believe in it too? Or are you the only one doing the work for both of you? We don't like to admit this part. That sometimes the love we feel isn't rooted in reality. It's rooted in hope. And hope can be holy. But when it's blind, it can also be a trap. There's a name for this. Psychologists call it projection. You're not in love with them. You're in love with what you've placed on them, a future version, a fantasy, one that may never exist outside your mind. It's like falling for the trailer of a film that never gets made. You're clinging to the highlight reel of who they could be, ignoring the full movie playing right in front of you. And here's where it gets even trickier. You've been taught that love is about patience, about sacrifice, about seeing the best in someone, even when they can't see it themselves. And sometimes that's true, but other times, it's just the conditioning talking, the kind that tells women to be healers, nurturers, redeemers. You saw the little boy behind their adult face. You saw the pain in their avoidance. You saw the story behind their silence. But did they ever ask to be seen that way? Or did you assign them a role they never auditioned for? See, when you're used to being the emotional caregiver, you learn to love people for their potential, because you were rarely loved as you are. And so, without realizing it, you chase that same validation. But this time, you're the giver. You think if you can love them into wholeness, maybe someone will do the same for you. But that's not a relationship. That's a transaction disguised as hope. Let's be honest. You didn't fall for who they are now. You fell for the moments, short, rare moments, where they almost became that person. That night they opened up. That morning they stayed a little longer. That one time they said everything you'd been needing to hear. And you made that version, the blueprint. You built a whole relationship around a flicker. But flickers fade, and patterns always return. And here's what they don't tell you in love stories. Love isn't enough. Hope isn't enough. Potential isn't enough. You need presence, accountability, consistency. You need reality. Because otherwise, you'll spend your life editing a movie in your mind, while the credits roll in real life. Social media makes this worse. You see curated couples, filtered affection, soft life aesthetics wrapped around deeply unstable foundations. It makes you think, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm expecting too much. Maybe I just need to wait it out. But you're not expecting too much. You're expecting what you've been giving, and you're realizing they were never building the same thing you were. Now here's the hardest truth. What you're experiencing, this loop, this ache, this attraction to potential, it's not new. It's not just you. It's ancient. It's been scripted, handed down, baked into the stories we were raised on. You're not broken, but you might be following a script that was never written with your wholeness in mind. And now that you know that, you have to ask, do you still want to keep playing that role? Or are you ready to write a different one?